you start working with your guys?
I mean, we've seen them. Very limited. Obviously, we've been on the road doing some recruiting and getting some stuff done there to finishing up the last recruiting class. We've had a few morning mat drill practices with them, but not a whole bunch in terms of a true evaluation of their athletic ability as it pertains to the actual position-specific drill work.
So you don't know their hips yet. You don't know all that.
Right. So you're still getting into the weeds on some of those things, but I will say that, from what I can see, we've got a group that will work their butts off. They're going to work as hard as they can to get what you're asking of them done, and that's what all we can ask as coaches is for them to bring the effort and the passion that it takes to get better, and I think they're doing that right now.
You think you'd get back here?
I did. I knew I'd get back here. They say there's power in the tongue, and you got to speak it into existence. For me, I knew it was a dream of mine to come back home and be able to coach ball. This isn't a job for me. This is a brotherhood. It's a fraternity. It's family, and I know that's somewhat cliche in our profession, but obviously for me, it's a personal deal.
It wasn't a straight line, though. You didn't make a straight line.
No, definitely not a straight line. But I tell you what, every move has given me something to take with myself as I better myself as a young coach, and in this profession, that's what you want to continue to do, is to develop and get better as you go. And I think all those moves, getting back here full circle has allowed me to be the coach that I am as I showed back up on campus.
Cincinnati, Arizona, Minneapolis, Minnesota, right? Those are the three?
Yes.
All good places.
Yeah, absolutely.
You weren't toiling in D2 or D3?
No, you know what? And nothing against, those leagues. I think there's really good football coaches all over. But I was blessed enough to get on to a few spots that were still big-time premier programs, and still, again, develop myself and young men all through those experiences.
Did you take something from each place?
I did. You take some, you leave some. Working for Butch, working for Rich, working for PJ. Again, three guys that have done really, really well in the profession, along with a lot of coordinators that have done well. And, I like to say that football, especially coaching, is a copycat profession in which if something works, you're going to take it and use it. And so I'd like to think that I've kind of grabbed a lot of good things from some folks and left what I didn't think was pertinent or important to necessarily my position or bettering my guys. And so, again, I think that's kind of what's molded me into, again, what showed up on campus here recently.
Was it tough leaving Minneapolis?
It was tough. It's tough anytime you leave a situation where you've put a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, tears into kids, scheme, community, any of those things. And I think a lot of times people misconstrue a coach's move as maybe being easy, when a lot of times it's harder than you would think, but maybe the best thing for you, your family, and your career. And that was the situation here.
What's
going on, man?
Relationship
did my
with
internship with that guy.
Relationship with Neil. Where did you hook up with Neil? How did you get to know him or get involved?
We had a bunch of mutual friends. I know Kirk Chiraca, who was our offensive coordinator at Minnesota, knew him. So I'm pretty sure that he had somewhat of a barometer there. I know there's a few coaches that I've worked for and played for that knew him as well. But in terms of us having had any type of contact before, then I'd lie if I say so. But I do know that it was a lengthy interview process, most of it being done over the phone. And got a chance, really, it's a two-way interview in which I get a chance to know who he is, as well. Because I did have a good situation where I was at Minnesota, and it wasn't, just coming back home that brought me back, but also the fact that I'd be working for a guy that has upward mobility, that I feel like is going upwards within the profession, that stands for the things that I stand for as a coach, and that really understands what it takes to win. Obviously, he's won quite a few ball games at a lower level and beat some really, really good talent. He's done a lot with a little, and that said a lot, along with just being a great family man. It was a good fit for me.